May the 8th, the war was over. Well, we didn't know that there already was in Germany. This was completely secret. We got the orders publicly by Bullhorn, street to street. Go into your cellar and stay in your cellar until further notice. The city is gonna fight. Take your water and take whatever you need, and depend on it that you might be 3 weeks in the cellar. This is just the propaganda from street to street, okay? Well, May the 8th, how can I explain? When you, for a whole year working for a person, and I was an idiot, a monkey, a no good for nothing, a dumb donkey. This was my name. She never called me by the name Wally. You know, monkey do this, idiot do this. When we had an air raid on March the 15th, the last air raid we had was just a couple of airplanes after the Messerschmitt. And a house burned down there. The house was like this first tree here. There was a house in between, and it burned down to the ground, okay? My own mother could not go in the air raid cellar because she took me to church on Sunday. She punished my mama. Somebody else took her in the cellar, and somebody else saw her coming out from the cellar, from the house. So the lady took it in there. I got a beating. So what has your mother to do with that family? Why is she in there? And I said, well, you didn't let her in. The bombs were falling, the house is burning down there. And she slapped me like this. You talking back at me. This was in March 45, May the 8th. The war is over. And there were a jeep with 4 soldiers patrolling the street, MPs, because nobody could go on the street, you know, it was forbidden, we had curfew. And one of them had a map with Germany on it, and he said, Germany kaputt, you know. And if you see some kind of commotion like this, wouldn't you go in the window and see what's going on? So I went down the window, I put the curtains back there, and I was smiling. And she saw me smiling. She says, what are you smiling at? And I said, I'm smiling because we lost the war. The soldiers, the Americans are patrolling the street. And she says, we ain't lost the war yet. If we women have to go against them with a pitchfork. And she slapped me because I was laughing. And then I said, Frau Meyer, I hope they're gonna hang you, and when they hang you, I pull the string. Wow. And that was big talk for a monkey, an idiot, and no good for nothing. That yes, ma'am, Heil Hitler, ma'am. I could not even say Grüß Gott in the morning. I go, God bless you, I had to say Heil Hitler. When I served their meals, I had to say Heil Hitler, you know. And I says, I don't have to say Heil Hitler no more either. You know, and I'm gonna go upstairs and get my clothes together, and as soon as the curfew is over, I go home to my mama. And she says, oh no you don't. I got a job for you. And she made me go in the attic with her behind me, okay? And in the attic we had like 10 pounds, 15 pounds of cents in paper bag, you know, like you have on Christmas. The paper bag and the cent in there, only the whole thing was in case a fire bomb falls in there, it wouldn't go the flames down to downstairs. Yeah. They made me take every bag of sand down and spread it out in the backyard. On my hand and my knees, I was cleaning the attic with her staying behind me. And I said the attic was from this side to this tree in a square. Well, it was a 5-bedroom house. Then you know how big the attic. Yeah. And I scrubbed that attic from 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock. It didn't get no food, not a glass of water. She's punished me. And I had my Sunday dress on. Well, I went to church on Sunday because I was ready to go home to my mama, you know. Well, it was wet, dirty, filthy, you know. And I went into my room, 10 o'clock at night. Different soldiers were going patrolling the street, you know. And she came in the door and she gave me the beating. I had nose bleeding. That's how she slapped me in the face. And I said, you call me insane. I said, who is insane? Don't you understand? When the war is over, you can slap me all you want. I said, but the war is over. And boy, she gave me one more slap, took the key, locked me in. I went, said a prayer, and with my dirty clothes on, I jumped the second-story window. And I jumped into the front yard in the garden. The people across the street had the windows, they saw me and they waved me on, you know. There was not enough time for them to open the door with the lock, so they let me go in the first window closed on the street. I didn't know the people who they were. I just know from, you know, from the bakery selling the bread. They took my dress, they washed it, put it over the stove on a string, and 8 o'clock in the morning, 2 American GIs came. I don't know their uniform, the rank, I don't know their name, I don't know their age, and one of them spoke a little German. And I guess the patrol had seen me jumping from the window, and that's why they came to the kitchen, you know, the next day in the morning. And one of them in German said, you are under U.S. military protection and no harm shall come over you. We're gonna go into the bakery and get your belonging. I said, please don't. I said, they got 6 bazooka in the cellar because I used to mop around it. Because the husband, he was in charge of the old age guys that couldn't go to the war. No, you have heard of it in Germany, you know, they took in even if you were 70. As long as you could hold
a gun, you're good.
Yeah, and he was in charge of the oldest. The boy was 16 years old and he was in charge of the Hitler Youth. And they had 6 bazookas in the cellar, ready to go in the ditch and kill the Panzer, the tanks. And I said, please don't go. I was afraid of their security. And they said, don't worry about it. They had a rifle, on top of the rifle a bayonet and a pistol on the side. And he said in German to me, you know, we take care of ourselves, so don't you worry. Just show us, you know, how to get in there. And here it was, the 2 Americans, me, and 2 German guys. And the 5 of us went into the bakery, and the bakery guy who owned it, Mr. Meyer, said, do you need a whole damn army to get you rags? You know. And then the German the American who understands German, he said, we'll deal with you later. We want to get the belongings from the girl. They looked for the bazookas, and the bazooka were going, well, they had from 10 o'clock at night, you know. And I think what it was it would had the pigs, you know, covered with the straw in the backyard. I probably could have told them about it, you know, but they was concerned. And the German got my raggedy rags, and we went back to the kitchen. The German-speaking soldier, I didn't know who he was, gave me a little piece of paper, and it said, to whom it may concern. And I was the only little German girl at age 16 going into the city with a little wagon that those people loaned me to put my 2 boxes on it at curfew time, and no American soldiers bothered me, anything like this. And we was told that you were barbarians, no woman is safe, and the kind of propaganda that they would put out there, you know. Of course we were afraid of the Americans with all the propaganda going on there.
Right.
And no soldier did hurt me, and they were going on the street, you know, with ambulances and trucks, and because I was the only ones that could go on the street, and we all had to stay inside. From 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock, we were allowed to go on the street the next day to buy groceries or something like this. But we were told they can shoot you inside. Okay, this was on Tuesday, May the 8th, when the war was over, when I jumped, when I was freed, was May the 9th, which was a Wednesday. I went home to my mama, and on Sunday there were all the churches closed because of curfew, you know. And my mama said, oh, there gotta be one church open. Well, we lived away 2 blocks from the church, which was closed, you know, and we went 1 hour walk, and my mama and me, to find the church open. And the church was open because the fighting American soldier was the first time after the war was over that they took the church. And an American priest, soldier, gave the mass, and there were about 800 soldiers in the big cathedral in there. My mama took me by the hand and she says, we go in there. My mama had the guts, and all the soldiers looked, and I'm not making it up when I say they were standing room, they were so packed in there, and they had their feet right, they had the rifle here, and the helmet, and this is the way they were saying mass, one by one, row for row, you know. And they received Holy Communion by that priest, and in those days, you know, you went to the altar, you kneel and things like this. My mama and I, we were the last 2 to receive Holy Communion, and it was a soldier priest in the uniform, and the only thing he had on was the scarf that showed that he was a priest. But he had his combat uniform on like the rest of them, with the rifle and bayonet. And my mama said, if this is my enemy, I want to be part of it. You know, she was not afraid. And we're only 2 civilians in all of Augsburg received Holy Communion from a Catholic soldier priest. My mama says, okay, because it was curfew. We couldn't go in the main street, so we went to the streets, the little ones where no sheep could go, where the houses were bombed and the rubble was still there. We went to the sideway. We went to the field, and we walked 2 hours to go back to where the soldiers that liberated me, you know, from the bakery. They had a school occupied. And we took some lilacs that was on the river, and we broke them off, and I stole 3 tulips from a Nazi villa, and I put the 3 tulips in there, and we walked 2 hours to the school, way out where the bakery was. I didn't speak any English, nobody spoke German, but it's like a miracle, you know. We understood each other, and they brought me the guy that liberated me, you know. They gave us, Mama and me, an orange, some chocolate, one other soldier a necklace. I don't know where he got a necklace there, and they hugged us, and there was not one dry eyes. You know, Mama and I, we kissed the guys in Thanksgiving, and then we walked back home to the apartment, and we had to walk back 2 hours home the same way, avoiding, you know, and things like that. And this is how I got celebrated, and this is why the cross means so much to me in Thanksgiving, why I got those 2 little crosses made, you know, because something like that you don't can forget, you know.
Of course not.
And I have done everything with my Johnny. You know, and John trusted me. I met him in 1947 when I was a waitress, and he brought me to America. We went to Fort Hood Station, but he didn't have enough time left to go for Korea, so they sent him to El Paso, and it's the best thing that ever happened that I came to El Paso. And I've been here since 1952.
Wow.